Kamala Harris is back in her hometown of L.A. and doing what she does best, getting rejected by the people. Her neighbors are reportedly furious that her Secret Service detail is causing traffic jams. Meanwhile, the party she grifted billions out of, the Obama Pod Bros, are putting Democrats on blast for not knowing how to talk to people. Listen.
Democrats have spent years saying, you're wrong not to care about this. You're wrong not to be bothered by these assaults on our democracy. You're wrong not to care about this stuff. And I think if at a time when there's so much noise, we have to go to people and talk about what they already care about.
They think what's going to happen is they're going to go on Joe Rogan, and then Joe Rogan's going to say something about trans issues, and they're going to say, trans issues, that's just a distraction from high prices. And have you heard about what we did with Medicare? And Joe Rogan's going to be like, what? Because they talk like a message document, and they talk like their pollster told them to talk.
Yeah. And programming alert, I'll have one of the podcast bros on the show tonight at 8 o'clock. I'm not sure which one. Dana, how do you interpret what they're selling now?
Well, I think that they're at least the ones who are trying to figure it out and be honest about it. And they have a platform to do it that's a very popular program. And they work for a super popular president. And they, even when, after the Biden debate, the disastrous debate on June 27th, they were some of the first to say, wow, okay, we got a problem and this has to change. I don't know if they were for an open primary or if they were just all in on Kamala. You might ask that tonight. That might be a good question for you to ask them. Not to give you an assignment, but I would like to know. Some of the Democrats, like on the Biden influencer page today, they were complaining that Donald Trump had been in office for 6 hours and grocery prices were high. I couldn't believe it. And there are problems that the Democrats have. I know things always swing back, right? It's a pendulum, you see it. It is very hard to imagine right now the Democrats finding their footing. I assume they will at some point, but someone's going to have to step up.
Well, I can't buy eggs in New Jersey, the ones I like, Judge Janine, the organic pasture-raised ones, because I'm an elitist. And I'm going to hold Trump's feet to the fire if he can't get my eggs.
He'll be really worried about that,
He
Jesse.
should be. I have a very powerful megaphone.
Yeah, you do,
Egggate.
Jesse.
I've already come up with a name.
Yeah, those megaphones don't always work. Talk to the bishop.
I'm no bishop, Judge.
Listen,
Can't beat the bishop.
My son brings me eggs from his chickens. First of all, these guys are right. The reason these guys on this Pod Save America, whatever it's called, they got no skin in the game, okay? They can say that they're being honest. And they're basically saying, you're wrong not to care about the problem. We are in a position to, identify what Americans care about. But I'll leave that to you for the show tonight. But what I love about this is the Democrats are now saying the Republicans are all focused on the billionaires and the oligarchs and all that other nonsense. Well, you want to tell me what happened in Silicon Valley and big tech and Hollywood when they got Biden to do their bidding and with the 51 intel agents and to shut down free speech with Hunter Biden's laptop. And now we got Elon Musk, who's willing, to bring back people from outer space that Boeing left up there because they're incompetent on this stuff. I'm sure they're not incompetent, but they are to me. And FEMA, couldn't get Starlink or anything else, the people in North Carolina, and now they just hate them. The Dems just hate. They make no sense.
Would you like to counter that, Harold Ford Jr.?
No, I think you raise a good point about the grocery prices and insurance costs and housing costs. I think I've said for a long time, and I'm glad to hear the guys, the podcast brothers or the Obama Pod brothers, however you describe them. I've said since the election, and even before the election, that Democrats, we are out of sync with where a lot of the country is. I don't think it'll be as hard to get back in sync, but two things you have to do. You have to listen to people, and then you have to answer people. And that's for everybody. President Trump listened, and he developed a campaign message that spoke to people's concerns and needs and aspirations and fears. And the question now is, once you're elected, I think all people who win presidential races do that. Once you win, you now have to answer that. Look, ending DEI today is something that a lot of people are going to celebrate. I don't think it has any impact on the price of eggs or cars or groceries. And I think ultimately that's the rub in this election. And I think President Trump has a theory of the case, which is he wants his tax cuts extended. He wants tariffs on certain things to make more things produced here and manufactured here in America. And he believes that DOGE is going to help him reform government in many ways. If that works, there'd be a lot of people support him again. But ultimately, he's got to deliver on the economic message. And if he does, he'll win again. And if Democrats don't take to this and understand this, we're going to continue losing.
Greg, do you think the podcast bros are actually brothers?
No, I don't. I got to be honest, I don't care about those tools. Everything they said, I heard already 5 years ago on this show. We told you that the Democratic Party was becoming a joyless, emasculated bunch of chaotic Karens. We predicted what was going to happen to your party 2 years ago. I don't need some weasels to come tell me what's happening when they were behind it to begin with. Look, you cannot be scared and have a conversation. The Democrats always say, let's have a conversation. Nobody wants to talk to them because there's always a chance for potential condemnation. If you speak your mind, if you move your hand any which way, oh, you could be Hitler. So nobody wants to be around you because you make behavior a potential for cancellation. And then ultimately you turn on yourself. So it's not whites or blacks or Hispanics that are leaving your party, pal. It's the fun people. People want to have fun. Identity politics does not make your life fun. It's invaded all of our lives. Think about it. The Democrats have lost the ability to talk to other humans because they introduced identity politics, the elevation of yourself, into every element of life. So if you're in line at Starbucks and you're getting a coffee, that's your transaction self. But now you're supposed to say, hi, I'm Steve, I'm non-binary. Nobody wants to hear that crap.
Greg told it. Here it is. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.